Hello, everyone who's watching from around the world. Welcome to today's episode, which is about moving to Ghana. I have had so many people ask me over the last few weeks about moving to Ghana. So I decided that it was very important to do a topic where I have a conversation with people who are actually living in Ghana or who've traveled to Ghana, who've experienced what it's like, started businesses, so they can share some of their experiences. I'm streaming on YouTube and on Facebook. Um, Hello, everyone who's watching. If you have questions or comments, feel free to type them in and we'll do our best to address them throughout the program. So today, the guests that I have are Lakiesha Ford, who is a managing director of Ford Communications. She moved to Ghana from the US a few years ago. She's of Jamaican heritage, and she was also featured on the BBC talking about year of return and African Americans who have moved to Ghana. I also have Deja Gordon, who is also from the US. She moved to Ghana last year and she launched her food truck, Deja Views Jerk Hut, serving Jamaican food to Ghanaians. And she was also recently featured on NBC Nightly News about her business. We'll also have Jamaican actor Kevoy Burton, who is also the author of his own book called Black People, The Losing Race. And then we have Lakeisha Brown, who is an MC and hip hop artist from Toronto. And she took a trip to Ghana last year during the year of return. We're having some challenges with Kevoy getting on the stream. He has some network issues, so he's not in at the moment. So if everybody can say hello.
Hi.
Morning.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world and you're joining this stream. Today we're talking about moving to Ghana. Now, Lakeisha, Deja, and Kevoy have all moved to Ghana. Lakeisha has not, but she traveled to Ghana last year, and I thought it was important to have her in this stream because she was so inspired by Ghana that she even made a song about her experience. And I thought it was important to share because she's sort of like the before. You have like the before and after. So the person who comes, loves it, shares things about the country with people who don't know about it, and uses their creativity or business sense to be able to share with the world what the country has to offer. So I'm going to play a clip from her song, which is called "Went to Ghana."
Yes, went to Ghana. Yeah.
And it's getting a lot of views right now on YouTube. And for those of you who don't know the song, here is a clip.
I'm so cool, I went to Africa. Back at school, they would laugh at us. Now it's cool to be black as fuck. Now it's cool to be from Africa, huh? Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up. Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up. It's so cool to be from Africa. It's so cool to be from Africa. I'm so cool, I went to Africa. Back at school, they would laugh at us. Tell the truth, it was cruel. Now it's too cool to be black as fuck. Now it's cool to be from Africa. Now it's cool to be from Africa. Went to Ghana, now I'm acting. Went to Ghana, now I'm acting up.
What I love about that is that you're talking about that they used to laugh at us and now it's cool to be from Africa, and everybody who is of African descent can relate to that whole thing of people laughing at being African. And then now suddenly it's like this trendy, cool thing. And we want to make sure that people know it is not just a trend. This is something that is very real, and it's wonderful that people's eyes are opening up to it. I wanted to congratulate you first on releasing the song.
Thank you.
And then secondly, sorry, go ahead.
So I was going to say, I can't see you. Is it just me? I just see myself.
Yes, it's just yourself right now. We want the audience to see just you.
Okay.
I'll flip back and forth as we go along. But right now, I wanted to focus on you, so I switch back and forth so everybody can get it's like you're having a conversation with that one person.
Okay, understood. Thanks for letting me know. Thank you.
So what made you decide to go to Ghana in the first place?
So I got an opportunity to perform in Ghana at a place called the Body Beach, beautiful beach that, of course, everyone here knows it. And I've been I've been always looking at Ghana from an ancestral viewpoint, because as a Jamaican descendant, I understood that a lot of my people come from the western region of Africa, specifically Ghana, right? Especially with the Maroons. And so studying my history of Ghana for the past like maybe 8 years, I've always been so interested in going to Ghana to experience what is it? Why am I so spiritually tied? What is my connection to Ghana, right? So I told myself even 8 years ago that one day I have to go to the motherland, specifically Ghana. And then the opportunity presented itself by a festival called Afro Chic, because the year returned. So there's so many events, Afrochella, Afro Nation. So I got an opportunity to perform at Afro Chic. Is a Toronto organization, and they got grant and funding to be able to go down there and showcase Toronto talent, people from the diaspora, including myself. So with that, I took that opportunity and ran with it. And I was supposed to stay for only 1 month. I ended up staying for 3 months because that's how much I fell in love with it.
Wow. I didn't know you stayed for 3 months.
Yeah, I was there for so long. You and I kept bumping into each other at different places. And I was like,
Yeah,
we're meant to connect one day.
yeah, now that I think about it, you were here for a while, but I didn't realize it was 3 months. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I
Wow.
extended the trip. I kept paying a little bit more and more to extend. And then, bam, I didn't want to leave.
Wow, wow, wow. And so, okay, so once you finally did leave and go back to Canada, um, what was the process that started with you creating the song?
Mm-hmm. So when I left, I actually went to Jamaica right away because it was blizzard in Canada, and I was like, "There's no way I'm going from heaven, paradise to I mean, I don't want to call it hell, but it was a different form of purgatory for sure." So I really didn't want to just jump straight into freezing cold. And Ghana and Jamaica are so similar to me in just the environment and the people, right? So I was like, oh, I was craving to go back to Jamaica as well after Ghana. So after that, I was in a spirit of like thinking about Ghana so much, even when I was in Jamaica. And then certain vibes came to me where I'm like, okay, I have to write. I have to write about this experience because I'm a storyteller. And I feel like that's what hip hop artists are in general, just artists in general, actually. So I said, how can I really recreate my story through my words and give a visual representation of how I felt? And so I went to Jamaica for 2 weeks after Ghana. And then when I came back here, I just started writing. It just came to me, right? And something told me, instead of just vlogging about it, maybe since I'm an artist, I might as well express that in a rhythmic way, right? So I started doing that. And then the words just came to me about the food I ate, storytelling, and of course, never forgetting about Kwame Nkrumah and incorporating that in my lyrics as well. So it was more so, how do I tell a story in an integral and honest way without it really trying to be showing off or, any form of like a gloat, if that's the way, but just telling an honest story. So that's how it came. It just came natural. It just flowed through me. So.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I know that there's a lot of people who've been really feeling this song. There's a YouTuber who's really popular, who also shares stories about Africa, Wode Maya, and he used your song in one of his videos. So I'm sure that gave it a lot of exposure because I think he has over 300,000 subscribers. So you definitely got some exposure with that song through him and through other people who've been sharing it. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And I love how you incorporated the Kwame Nkrumah, and you talked about food and all that kind of stuff. I want to play a clip where you talk about that for people to hear that section that you mentioned.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Ghana is so heaven sent, home of real medicine, home of black excellence, gain independence, by Ghana's first president, Kwame Nkrumah represents freedom with no hesitance, justice and no settling. Let this settle in. All of the riches from Africa, met the coolest kids in Africa, boy. All of the wealth is in Africa. Buy some land and sell all of your toys. I need to get out of Canada, create a business, now you self-employed. Your money will stretch like it's algebra. This is the truth, man, this ain't a ploy. Strongest facts, they manage not.
I just love how you project all that stuff, talking about buying land, doing business. Lakeisha and Deja can talk about, the businesses that they've started coming to Ghana. Now, I would love to know from you, Lakeisha, because you clearly see it. Do you have any plans for the future to come to Ghana and invest in anything or start anything up?
Most definitely. I've actually already started buying some land in Ghana, and I
Really?
bought a ticket. Yes, it's in near the Cape Coast region and Accra as well.
Yeah.
And I remember falling in love just with the people, the energy, the culture, the food, the environment, and everyone there is so sweet. Like they're really nice. And when it comes to like they don't like to offend people, and if they hurt you, they'll say sorry, 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 sorry. Even if they don't hurt you and you just get hurt on your own, you stub your toe, it's like sorry, sorry, sorry. Like they have so much empathy there, so much heart. So I said like this is where I want to be, and I know that comes with first taking the action and not just talking about it, right?
Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
mom and I were interested in investing in land, so we already started with that process, and as well as we bought tickets to go back to Ghana even before quarantine let up, and it's still not let up. It's still happening here in Canada, and
Yeah.
so we bought tickets to go back to Ghana November, and we're staying for another 3 months as well. And my mom is very serious about moving there completely. She might not come back and when she goes this year. So we're very, very headstrong in doing bigger moves there than just talking
Wow.
about it. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic, fantastic. I just want to talk about some of the comments here. Somebody said, I want that album. Radio stations will be blasting it here. And then Certified Africa says, your money will spread like algebra. Did I just hear that? So true.
That was a hard line.
So that was good. So people are
Yes.
definitely feeling the song, feeling the song. So Lakeisha, I know we're not going to keep you for too long because most of the conversation that remains is going to be about actually being in Ghana and having moved. I just wanted to bring you in so people can hear your song, see that people get inspired, and also to show that you are an example of the beginning process before people actually come to the country and make the move. So if someone wants to get your music, how do they do that?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram. It's ZAKISHA. Perfect. You put it up there. So I'm pretty accessible when it comes to if you want to DM me for any questions or comments. I still look at them now. And so Instagram is the best way, I'd say. Also, look out for a new song that I'm dropping this month, actually, hopefully the end of this month. It's actually called Make Africa Home Again. So
Make
that
Africa home
music
again.
video, Make Africa Home Again, yes. So
Nice.
that music video I did in Ghana, so it actually shows the different the beauties of Ghana, the waterfalls, the markets, the people, the food, coconuts, all of that. So that was the main video I was always planning on doing, was Make Africa Home Again and showing the visuals of Ghana. And then, it inspired me to do the Went to Ghana in Toronto. People are like, oh my God, you were in Ghana and you didn't show any clips of Ghana? I'm like, no, I was in Toronto when I did that video. So the Make Africa Home Again, that's dropping this month, and you'll be seeing that soon. So you can just follow me on Instagram. That's the best way to reach me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let me see if there's anybody here someone just said they followed you. Awesome.
Hey, thank you. And that's it.
People are really, really feeling it. So that's really good. That's really, really good. So follow Lakeisha on Instagram. As she said, she's really open to getting a DM. She'll respond to you. She's very responsive and very open. So she's got great, great energy. So definitely connect with her. She will be back in Ghana. So looking forward to when you can come back, because I know the borders are closed right now. So eventually when they do reopen and things get back to the way they were, I'm looking forward to seeing you when you come back.
Thank you, Ivy. I appreciate you having me here, and thanks for reaching out. This has been amazing, and your energy has always been so beautiful. Like, I feel like we've connected randomly in Ghana multiple times because we're meant to work together and connect in bigger areas one day too. So
Yeah.
it's been an honor to meet you and cross paths with you, and I can't wait to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Peace.
I'll be following you too.
Yeah, it's so like she's getting some followers, people following, which is fantastic.
I actually saw her song on Facebook. Someone sent it to me, and I'm like, wow, I love it. That song.
You saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, someone sent it to me on Facebook.
See, so
everything she said was so true throughout the entire song. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, just reminding those who are joining, if you've joined late, that we are talking about moving to Ghana. We were just talking to Lakeisha Brown, who's an artist who did a song about coming to Ghana, and now we are speaking with Lakiesha Ford of Ford Communications and Deja Gordon of Deja Views Jerkot. The two of them have both moved to Ghana and are going to share their experiences. We are supposed to also be talking to Kevoy Burton, but unfortunately he's had some challenges with his internet, so hopefully he'll be able to join us soon. Reminding those of you watching, if you have questions or comments, to put them in the comment section, and we'll do our best to answer and to address your comments. Thank you very much. So first I want to start off with you, Lakeisha, because you've been in Ghana for a few years now. And you have your company, Ford Communications. You also did an event during the year of return. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, your business?
Yeah.
First, tell us about your business and then why you moved to Ghana.
Right. So first of all, thank you so much for having me, Ivy. So gracious, like always. So yeah, I came to Ghana. Wait, you want to know about the business first, right? Okay, so but I should tell you why I came to Ghana, which is basically what led me into the business, right? And that's also something that I encourage to people for them to visit first. A lot of people say, "Oh, what kind of business should I start?" And I'm always like, "You have to come here and see the gaps." So basically, I first came to Ghana during my undergrad years as a study abroad student. So it was an exchange program. I came, I loved it. I'm Jamaican, so the similarities, like Lakeisha said, was like, it was just so similar. My people are from the country, so very similar to Ghana in a lot of ways. And the foods and everything, I just felt home and I felt freer. And in that process, or even that state of feeling free, I felt like I was able to observe more. I was able to observe the environment. I was inspired by the environment. And what really frustrated me was the fact, or the dichotomy of what we see on, media, on different media platforms in the West compared to what I was seeing with my own eyes. So there was something ignited in me around storytelling, precise perceptions, telling a wholesome story, telling the other side of, the story that we don't get to see. I started out shooting documentaries, went back to school, pretty much finished, got my master's degree, came back, did research, and the problem still existed. So I literally said, okay, well, the best way to do this is to use PR to push out the good stories about the innovation that's happening on the ground, just the positive aspects of it. Of course, there are negatives. So this is why and how I came to start Ford Communications, because I literally saw a gap in the narrative. And more commercially, when it comes to media and storytelling, I wasn't seeing enough of what was actual reality on the ground. So that's how I came to do Ford Communications. PR is my tool. That's what I use to really bridge the gap. We hear that term, that phrase all the time, but there are different functions and ways that you do it. And one of the ways is using PR. And then in addition to that, of course, I took it to the next level, because you can't be Jamaican and just do one thing, right? So you can't be Jamaican and do one thing. Of course, there was a lot of, when I first came back in the day, right? Back in the day, it wasn't cool. It wasn't cool. No one was talking about traveling to Africa, But then, of course, like maybe around 2014, 2015, things started to buzz. And really, I think things hit with travel, more specifically Black travel, around 2016, after Afrobeat started to really permeate, I would say, the West, right? People started being interested in it. So there was a lot of interest from, of course, the UK. A lot of people are already Ghanaian, so they just come home. But more so, there was an increase in interest from America. But I wasn't seeing a lot from the Caribbean. And then what was interesting for me was that there's such an affinity for our culture, for the Jamaican culture. People love the music. People talk about loving our accent and things of that sort. I didn't see enough spaces here. Another thing, not seeing something or identifying a gap, seeing a problem and offering a solution. So I met my business partner, what was it, March of 2018. We came up with the idea to do an event, and then we called it Pine and Ginger. So we did do Year of Return, but that wasn't our first time doing it. It was our second time. So we did the first one, literally planned it on WhatsApp, did it 2018, and then came back and did it for Year of Return. And that was our contribution to the idea of bridging the gap between the West and Africa. But of course, the roots are strong, so we had to keep it authentic. And it was a connection it was about the connection culturally between Jamaica and Ghana. So yes.
Okay, so you mentioned the Pine and Ginger. So I just want to show people the video clip of the promo video from the Pine and Ginger that was during the Year of Return.
One girl? Shireen, where you there? You know, here's the Pine and Ginger team. You know, some of my auntie tell me some of them come, but you must just come in from work, my son gonna chill tonight. Chill? Why not put on some clothes? I you try it before me hang up.
Me I drink Pine and Ginger. When I make some wine for the thing, I'm gonna play that. Me I drink Pine and Ginger. When I make some wine for the thing,
Well, easy. Easy. We have a party tonight, you just watch. Tonight, me feel I spend some cash. Pool and events, just watch. If a Givenchy shoes, then the belt must match. Everybody shout, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So that was the Pine and Ginger event that you had during the Year of Return. How was it? Because the whole purpose of that event was to bring together Jamaican and Ghanaian culture. How did you find the response, and was it successful?
Yeah, so first of all, the response was amazing. It honestly exceeded my expectation. I knew that, last year was our first time, and then the second year, you're still like, okay, you don't expect too much. Maybe year 3 or year 4, you will start to see exponential growth. But I'm sure because of Year of Return, it amplified everything. We got a really great turnout. Of course, we learned a lot. It was our second time doing it. We wanted to really stay true to literally linking Jamaica to Ghana, not just being in Ghana saying, hey, because we're Jamaican, we're going to play Jamaican music. We flew in a DJ from Jamaica. I went to Jamaica myself last year, met with different people, and from that effort, we were able to get coffee to come to our party. We had Jamaican food, authentic Jamaican food cooked by Jamaicans. We also had some Ghanaian food as well. So these are just some of the ways we connected the cultures. What else? Yes, and the promo video was also shot in Jamaica. It was shot in Jamaica, and then there was footage from our first Pine and Ginger. So it was a combination of the environments from both Jamaica and Ghana. So we really tried to work on the authenticity, keeping it authentic and merging the two. But yeah, we had a really great turnout. I was literally in it. Sometimes people do events and they hire event managers so that they don't have to, work the event. But of course, we were it was self-funded. We got sponsorship towards the end, but pretty much it was self-funded. So we had to literally put our skin in the game. So the day of, I was literally so overwhelmed. There was a point where I was like, okay, I think we have enough people, but they kept coming.
And then you had someone else special who showed up. Let me just put it on the screen. You had the Jamaican artist Coffee show up.
Coffee was there. Yes, honestly, I was even shocked myself because We didn't pay her, wasn't anything like that. It was literally out of, I think, you know how we say real recognize real, you know, like I met with the team, literally invested in the relationship and really connecting with them. And I think they saw my passion. So it was just like, all right, you know, if we're in Ghana, no doubt it happened. And we also had Kevoy there. Kevoy was at Pine and Ginger. He was there and actually also knows coffee. So it was like a new / mini reunion, if you will, because I reconnected with the people that I met in Jamaica, and then they knew Kevoy. We were in Ghana, so it was a really nice connection. This is literally my labor of love. This is the work. This is my life's work. It's all about connecting both regions. Right now, it's very focused on entertainment because I want to attract people and encourage them to come to Africa. But our next step is to expand the relationship through trade. So that's something that we're working on as well.
Kevoy, you're here. We got him back. I hope, oh, it looks like he's frozen. Oh my goodness. Let me wait for him to get his network in order. So there's a question here for you asking, when is the next one? I need parts of this event. So this person looks like wants to be part of the event.
So the plan was to do it this year. Like we want to do it annually. And funny enough, from last year, people have requested for us to do it in South Africa, in Jamaica, in New York, in Canada as well, Toronto. So the plan was to do it this year, but of course, because of COVID, we're not specifically sure what will happen. But right now we have not canceled it. So the best thing for people to do is to literally follow us at Pine X Ginger or stay connected. I can more that. Stay connected. But what we are doing is, of course, we're creating digital content. So we're going to start a conversation series called Sound Connect. That'll be very focused on music. So we have one coming up for the end of June. So stay connected, and then you'll find more information about it. So we'll do like digital experiences for now until we understand the climate. But Pine and Ginger definitely is here to stay.
So can they reach you by email?
Yeah. So you can reach me. Should I put it in a chat or something?
info@fordcommunications.net?
Yeah.
I'll put it up. It's info@fordcommunications.net, right?
Ford-communications.net.
I'll put it up on the screen for anyone who wants to reach out to Lakeisha. It's info@ford-communications.net to send her an email to give your support if you wanted to work with her on her upcoming project for Pine and Ginger. I know it's delayed, as you said, but that's how you can reach her. So it sounds like you've got a lot going on. It's been a really, it's been a fruitful move for you to come to Ghana. And there's a lot of people who are always wondering what it's like, you know, depending on the industries you're into. So it's good to hear from a PR standpoint what your business was like. Kevoy.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, great. We've got him. Awesome. I'm glad that you, after all the challenges, you were able to get in. I know it can be really challenging sometimes depending on where you are. I had an issue my last stream where I had to go to a cafe because my power went out and which the internet wasn't that stable. So someone made a comment. Certified Africa said, Ivy, I see your panel is an all Jamaican team. We need to make you an honorary Jamaican today to complete the equation. You know, that wasn't even intentional. It wasn't even intentional, but I guess it just it wasn't intentional. So we're going to speak now with Deja, who moved to Ghana last year. Kevoy moved to Ghana this year, right? You moved this year. Deja moved last year, and she was recently featured on NBC Nightly News for her Jamaican food that she's serving on her food truck. And actually, I remember when I first met her, someone had suggested that we connect. And so we met up, and she had the vision. It was like, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. I'm gonna get it done. And I was just like, wow, okay, all right, girl. And she did it. You know, she
Yeah,
did
man.
it. She's now like being featured on the news in the US. I couldn't get a clip of that video, copyright reasons. I wasn't able to get a clip to post, but I do have a screenshot from that video. Going to Ghana, Black Americans explore identity living in Africa. If you find that on Google, on YouTube, you can find it on NBC's channels, NBC Nightly News, and you can watch Deja's story about how she moved to Ghana and started her food truck. So Deja, can you talk a little bit about, because you're from New York, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about, what made you decide to come to Ghana? Had you been before? When I met you, I know the answer to this question already, but people who don't know, when I met you, had you been to Ghana before? Was that your first trip? Was it because of Year of Return you came? What was the start that made you come in the first place to start this business?
So my first time in Ghana was 2015. Prior to that, I always wanted to go to Africa. It didn't have to be Ghana. I just knew that as a Black person, I should at least visit the motherland. So I had the opportunity to visit December 2015. A friend of mine, she invited me. So that was my first time in Ghana. And when I went, I immediately felt that connection because, like Lakeisha said, what they show us on media and what I saw was not the same. So I said that, you know what, after my trip, I said I have to be here. I have to do business here. And also when I went, I saw the Jamaican flag throughout the city. When I would go in the taxis, I would see Jamaican flag. I would see Jamaican flag and Ghanaian flag together. And I'm like, what is this connection? And when I started to do my research, I found out that there's a direct connection with Jamaica and Ghana. So I was like, wow. And then I don't think at that time there was any Jamaican restaurants. And I said, just imagine bringing Jamaican food, a Jamaican vibe, the music and everything here to Ghana. So that's what I wanted to do. And also bring that connection because a lot of people and a lot of Blacks in Africa and America, we're disconnected from our roots. We don't know. And I feel like it's important for us to know where we come from. So I said when I returned, I wanted to show people what Africa is really like, what Ghana is really like. So that's what sparked me to return to Ghana and do business.
Okay. So when you came, you had a mission and a vision. How exactly did you go about doing that? Because you don't have family in Ghana, right?
Right. No.
There's a lot of people who they have family already. They know people. They have these connections. What did you do to just jump in and get started?
So I'm very optimistic, and when I put my mind to something, I just do it. I don't see anything in my way. It was literally when I was on the verge of leaving, I'm thinking to myself, like, can I really do this? But I firmly believe that you are the only one that can stop you from doing anything that you want to do. I feel like, and then also a few of my family, like my grandfather, he has a Caribbean bakery in Florida. So I was looking more so for his support. And when I told him, he said, no, that don't make sense. Why would you want to do this in Africa? But I just had to continue to talk to myself and build that confidence in myself to know that I can make this happen. Like I said, from 2015 up until 2019, that's when I was in the process of figuring things out. And 2019, I said, you know what, I have to go before the year of return because I didn't want to miss out on that and it just be like, I knew everyone was coming during that time. So I said, I have to be there before all of this happened. So I took the entire prior year to plan everything out. I wrote every single thing down. Um, I would listen to podcasts. I would just do the internal work that I needed to do to make my move.
Now, this story here that I had seen online talked about how, the trip inspired to trade in your 8-year career in New York. What was your career in New York that you traded off, that people want to know? What did you leave behind?
I was working at the United States Postal Service since I was 20. I'm now 28. And that was another issue for me as well, because while I was there, people would say, why would you give up, this job, which you're making great money, you should just wait. You should wait till you can retire. And that's not my mindset at all. I feel like, I'm young. I don't have any children as yet. This is the perfect time for me to go and try and take that risk. If anything, then I'll just return back if it doesn't work out. But I believe that when you get a vision that's so profound, it is bound to work out.
And I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will for anybody who has the same kind of vision. And it has for you so far. I know, right now with the pandemic, it's kind of slowed things down a little bit. But I know that what you're doing is fantastic because there's not anything around like it. There's a couple of places that have started making Jamaican food, but one has totally disappointed me. I won't even name the place, but completely disappointed me.
That was another thing too, because I would see jerk around Ghana and I'm like, this is not jerk. Like, this is not it. So I felt the need that I had to bring the real deal. So
yeah. Now, Kevoy.
Hey, what's going on?
You're sitting out there outside enjoying. What is that? Is that a club or a star?
Club.
For those of you who come to Ghana, so those of you who've never been to Ghana, club is one of the local beers. There's club and there's star. So he's enjoying himself outside in the sunshine. So Kevoy, you just moved to Ghana this year. You are a Jamaican actor and author, and we connected because you starred in the movie Joseph.
Yeah.
And that movie was under the Year of Return. It was a Year of Return endorsed film. For those who don't know, let me put up the flyer for the film. This was Joseph. That's you. You look so serious. So when you came to film in Ghana, was that your first time being in Ghana, or had you been to Ghana before?
Oh no, it was my very first time. I came here.
Okay, so tell us about your experience coming to film that movie, and then what the movie is about for people who don't know.
All right, so what do you want me to? Which one of them do you want me to answer first?
Okay, so start off first with the movie Joseph. What is the film about? Because it connects Jamaica and Ghana. What's the movie about?
The movie is about finding your roots. Joseph, who's a doctor, he's from the upper echelons of society. He decided that he wanted to implement herbal treatment into his practice in Jamaica, and his parents weren't with it. And so he decided he wanted to, chase his own dreams, follow what his grandfather told him. His grandfather, who was a Maroon, who believes that his roots are in Ghana. So he decided, you know what, let's come to Ghana, chase my dreams, and find my roots.
And it's funny that you played a character who came to Ghana to chase their roots, and then eventually you ended up moving to Ghana.
Immediately after.
Yeah. So when we met, you were at the stage of just kind of feeling what Ghana's like and experiencing the culture and the food. The film had just premiered. Here's an image from the film premiere where you were speaking about your experience in the movie and how important this film is. And I just want to show, I have a short video clip of fans wanting to take pictures of you. That was a short clip from the red carpet. You were with the one of the producers of the film, a couple of other people who want to take some pictures with you. It was a really great night. I enjoyed the movie. And it's just interesting that when I interviewed you, you said on the red carpet that you want to move to Ghana. And in saying that, I had asked you if this is something that, when it comes to Jamaican culture, because I know that there's been a history of a disconnect between Africans and Caribbeans and African Americans. Did you have any pushback, any negative, thought from people when you told them you wanted to move? Because you're a popular actor in Jamaica. Why would you want to leave and come to Ghana?
No, I mean, first things first. I think it's a great opportunity for me to spread my wings. I mean, I've done a lot in Jamaica in the movie industry, in the film industry, and I felt like I could have a different impact somewhere else. So I decided, all right, let's try this. But that wasn't my main reason for switching to Ghana. My main reason was I came here. I realized that the place was very similar to Jamaica. And I realized that the people look just like me. So the thing is, a lot of people here wouldn't even know that I'm not from Ghana until I speak. And so for me, that was different. That was very different. Because when you go to America, obviously, you see different people, white people. I mean, I'm not calling out anybody. I mean, you see that you are not necessarily from this place, but you know that you are from somewhere else. And when I came here, I felt like I was from here, or my roots were here. And I saw where the industry, their economy was growing. It was starting to boom. And in a few years' time, I know it will be a really huge economy. And so I saw opportunities. But the thing is, I didn't fool myself. I didn't fool myself into thinking that, I'm going to come here and it's going to be a bed of roses, because I know there are challenges everywhere you go. So, I've kept close to people who have immigrated here, and I'm learning the ropes as I go along. So, we come here a lot of times thinking that we know better, but we just know different. So, you have to adjust to the 30 million. The 30 million doesn't have to adjust to you. So I'm learning each day. I'm very open to their way of life, because people in the Caribbean, especially, we've divorced ourselves from African traditions, and we think the people are backward, and because we see jungle and we see poverty, we see a lot of things that when I come here, I didn't really see that. I saw something different, and I'm trying to tell people in the West that, listen, it's different. You can come here. You will get challenges. You will have challenges. But, I mean, it's your people. It's your people. You have to learn to live with them.
Somebody just asked, where can we see the movie? I know it was screening at different places. It screened in New York earlier this year, and it screened in Barbados and Jamaica early in the year and last year. Do you know if it's playing anywhere right now?
Yeah, you can actually see it on demand on Vimeo.
Oh, on demand on Vimeo?
Yeah, I think you pay like $2 and you get to see it or something like that.
Okay, I didn't know that. So on Vimeo on demand. I'll just type that. I don't know what people can. So you can look for the Joseph movie on video on demand. Okay. Yeah, it's an excellent film. If I've seen it, and it is an excellent movie because it does bring together. You see the conflict between family members when one person wants to go one way and they're saying no. The strength of being Jamaican and also wanting to know your roots in Africa. I thought was a really well done movie. And so much in the storytelling. And there's for those who are into soca music, Alison Hines, who's known as the queen of soca music, is in the movie as well. Yeah, so it's definitely it was a really good film to watch, and I'm glad that you were able to come to Ghana and experience it, and it's now made you become a new resident.
Listen, I love it here. I really love it. It's really chill.
Yeah, I can see you're really chill. Someone in the comments said that you're having so much fun.
Oh yeah. I am. I love it. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. People keep asking if I'm coming back. I'm like, no way. No way I'm coming back. No way.
So one other thing that I want to mention that came up from your trip is you wrote a book.
Oh yeah.
You wrote a book, and that was
Mm-hmm.
after you came to Ghana. From what I was reading, that you wrote this book, Black People: The Losing Race.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds really deep.
I know. I think the thing is, I believe that as Black people, I think we don't have a lot of concepts for ourselves, and our concepts were given to us. If you look at things like concepts of beauty, our way of life, and certain things that we try to attain, it's not necessarily from our mind, it's from someone else's mind. And we have our scales are from a different race. So I think as Black people, I think we need to love ourselves. We need to look into ourselves a lot. I think we need to look into ourselves, because a lot of times we're looking outwards for love from someone else, when in reality we don't have it inside us. And so we have a lot of challenges, with other races, because what happens is that, because it's hard to explain. It's really hard to explain, but because we believe that there is a superior race, we also believe that we are inferior, and that's not the case. That's not the case. It's not the case. But we try to level up, in a sense, when in reality we don't need to. We just need to develop our own concepts, move together as one, and build our race ourselves. We can't wait for it to be given to us.
Yes, yes.
It will never be given to us. Never be given to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of you have made this move. You've made this transition. Anybody who's watching right now, you have people who've made the move. I get some of you sending me messages on my social media and YouTube, asking me questions about moving to Ghana, what it's like. Here's your chance. If you're watching, put your questions in the comments, and then we can have these people who are here and ready to share their experiences, tell you some of the things that they went through. So I want to ask Deja and Lakeisha, whoever wants to answer this question. Was it difficult for you to register your business and get started? Because that's something that a lot of people ask about, if it's difficult to register your business coming into Ghana.
Are you gonna go? Me?
Whoever goes first.
Okay, yeah. So I have a friend who helped me basically register my business, but the process was not hard at all. It's just a matter of who you know and knowing someone there so that they can, she registered it for me. She had her TIN number, because I'm not a citizen of the country or a resident as yet. But I literally was in contact with the guy on my phone, and the entire process was through the phone, and then I went to the office and picked it up. And that was about it. So it was pretty easy. But once again, it's just about who you know and trusting someone to put that business in their name for you. So that's how I went about it.
Okay. Lakeisha, did you want to answer that?
Yeah, no problem. So for me, it's similar as well. I basically have partners. And we essentially know people in the system that help you that support you along the way with getting the process done. I definitely recommend people looking at getting their residency. When you have your residency, you can do more. You can open your bank account, you can sign for things, so that's important. And that was helpful for me on my process of registering as well. But yeah, definitely Ghanaian partners. I mean, that's essentially the easiest way. Other than that, there are tiers. If you're a foreigner that wants to own a business on your own, I think the minimum threshold is like $500,000 or something like that in capital. But if you have partners, it's not that expensive. It's obviously not that expensive, but the idea is it's an easier direction to take. So that's what I did. And to be honest, that's probably the best, because like Kevoy said, we don't know better, we just know different. A lot of times people want to come here and, say, oh, I have an idea and I'm going to do it in this very, let's say, familiar way. What you know from back home, whether home is Jamaica or America or the UK, this is a very different place. And what I will say is your social network, from what I've seen, and I've been coming here back and forth for 12 years, what I've seen is that your social network weighs more than how much money you have.
Definitely.
We've seen where people come in, I have money, I'm ready to invest, but you don't know the right people. So then you end up, getting taken advantage of, or not not making the right decisions for yourself because your network is not proper. And I'm gonna say this because it's important. Right now, we're very kumbaya about coming to Ghana, which is great. All Black people need to come. I say it all the time. We need to come. This is like where we are from. Even if you're not from here, there's some connection that you find or that you receive, some alignment that you receive. But as much as this move is romanticized, you have to be wise about how you move. You cannot just think about all of your actions in a very altruistic way, like, oh, they say, everybody's so nice, and so I'm not going to expect that someone so nice is going to do something that's not nice, and I'm not saying that is the true experience of everyone, but it does happen here. So I say all this to say it's important to be vigilant. It's important to also open your mind to things. What you're doing, Ivy, is beautiful, facilitating conversation between multiple people about their experience, because sometimes people are like, oh, how is it? And then you share things and they're like, oh, but that happens everywhere. And it's like, I know, but it's insight, so people who are on here that are interested in coming to Ghana, what I stress to you is, connect with people. But as you're connecting with people, of course, be vigilant and do the right thing and things of that sort. But it's important to definitely get in the system. Don't try too hard. We can talk about that too, because that happens.
Now, Kevoy, you've only been in Ghana a few months now, so it'd be interesting to know, are you planning to do some work in the creative arts industry, acting? Are you trying to do film here as well? Or is there something else that you have an idea to do?
I don't know. I have a lot of ideas, actually. But the thing with film here is that film doesn't pay a lot. And I know that. So I'm not oblivious to that. So I'm not going to say, okay, I'm here just to be in film and I'll live good and I'll live okay. No, that's not the game. I have a lot of different projects that I'm looking at working on. So I work for another Jamaican who's here. And I do some marketing for him as well, because I'm a marketer by profession. And so I do some marketing for him for his new technology company. His name is Rafael Manuel. So we're working together to create some nice projects for Ghana. So I've been here studying the market, understanding how the people work, what the people like, etc., and I'm creating products around that. So products that people like already, and not bringing. I mean, I can bring something new, but it will have to align with what people like here. So I do have a big project that I'm working on. For later on this year, and I think it will be huge. I don't know if I can reveal it.
No, you don't have to reveal it, because you have your business you're working on. You don't have to reveal it. Just saying you're working on something is perfectly fine. Let me go to the comments now and see what people are saying, because I know that there's some comments coming through. Let's see. People normally gravitate towards me wherever I go. Who's this? This is the Black Cyber Network.
Me too. But that doesn't say anything.
No. My internet is suddenly going slow. I'm trying to get to these comments. Somebody said, yes, Lakeisha, tell them, be open-minded, but also be wise. Definitely. I know I saw a question here somewhere, and I'm trying to find it. Okay, somebody here says registration of business is easier than ABC. You can register a business from the comfort of your home. In Ghana, I know, see him shaking his head. In Ghana, it can be a challenge because Ghana is a country that very much, we are in the 21st century, but there's a lot of people here who still, I'm not saying that, people are backward. What I'm saying is there's a lot of people who are still very much focused on human connection, and they want to meet the person. And sometimes trying to do things online isn't always easy in Ghana. It might change now because COVID-19 has forced a lot of businesses to go online, and has forced people to start using email, forced people to start updating their websites. But historically and traditionally, culturally, Ghanaians like having meetings. They like to sit down and have food and drink when they meet. You may say, I want to talk to you about something, like you'll call. I remember I called and I was like, hey, can we talk about, A, B, and C? And they're like, oh, let's have a meeting. Why don't we meet tomorrow at this time, at this place? And I'm just like, now I have to travel all that whole hour to get somewhere so we can meet, eat, chat. And you might not even get anything accomplished. You might just be having conversation and you're touching on it here and there.
I had plenty of those.
Ivy, I think too, we have to let the people know that sometimes it's tricky to do business online, because then, you sign up for something online and you feel as if it's registered and you pay your money, and then it's not real. It's not real.
Right.
Yeah.
I often advise people, if you're coming to Ghana to do business and you want to get some factual information, it's always good to contact the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC. Yeah, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center can answer a lot of questions you may have if you are abroad, because I know that, you could be living in Manchester, you could be living in, Vancouver, and you can't exactly make a trip to go and meet up with someone to have a drink and chat about what it is you want to do. So the Ghana Investment Promotion Center has been really good with the diaspora, with having conversations. I actually first met their representatives in Toronto. I think it was maybe 5 or 6 years ago. They had come and done a session. So if you just Google the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, you'll find their website. You can send them an email, ask them questions when you are abroad and you're not in Ghana, to have your questions answered. So let me go to the comments. Certified Africa agrees. Ghana is about meeting people all day, every day. Lakeisha, what's the worst experience you had as an entrepreneur in Ghana? That question is for you, Lakeisha.
Yeah, so I would say the worst experience is probably, it will probably have to do with like talent, like hiring people in, and like I am very much an ambitious person. Like, I don't know what it means to hear no. What is a circumstance? That's very much me. I try my best to make things happen. So I guess trying to understand the difference. Everyone doesn't have that same drive, which is something that I had to unlearn as I'm Jamaican, but as an American, because I think conditioning is there. So I think that's probably the worst part of the experience, is wanting to do so much. As you guys heard, I do the most proudly, unapologetically, right? So that means there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And trying to get people on the same, I guess, ambition level or drive level has been probably one of the toughest experiences. I spent a lot of time just being like, you know what, I'll do it myself. And that's how you get burnt out. So That
Okay.
that would probably be the worst experience.
Okay. Someone put a comment here. Kevoy Burton, you are right. And Deja, when is the food come on the market? I like the last food you posted on your YouTube. Oh, so somebody's following you on YouTube.
Mm.
So Kevoy, you going first, or is it me?
No, yeah, you go. I don't know what I'm right about.
So once again, being that I'm in New York at the moment, it's just a matter of when the borders open so that I can return. And then we'll have the food for you. I had steamed fish on my YouTube. I just posted it with pumpkin, corn, okra. So I plan on bringing that to Ghana. It's good. But I would like to piggyback off of what Lakeisha said.
Yeah, because
As far as like the
got a
difficulty.
question. Your
Oh
biggest
yeah,
challenge
yeah,
that time.
because so one of the issues that I had was while I was in the process of building my truck. So I built my truck in Ghana. I didn't import it. And that was a tough task. Once again, not being from there, not having family there, and literally just trusting someone to get the job done. So the issue that I had was basically once you here in America, once you sign off on something and you have an expectation, especially when money is involved. But what I experienced in Ghana is basically like, that really didn't matter. So I believe like the lack of what's the right word I want to use? Systems or infrastructure. I know that here when like I said, once you sign something off and you say, okay, this is what we're promising you, this is what you're going to get. Now, while I was in the process of building my truck, I had to go out and buy my own materials. And that was a part of the contract. So the contract stated that I would get a certain amount of things on my truck. They would get all the materials. And yeah, that's basically about it. But after I put the down payment, they told me that, the truck is on standstill because we ran out of materials. And I literally had to go out every single day, North Kanishi, in the heat from about 12 in the afternoon until like 6 p.m. to just sit there all day and make sure that things would get done. So that's another difficulty in Ghana, just being able to know that when someone promises you something that it gets done. It really doesn't work like that.
Someone's asking you, Deja, if there's other food trucks or restaurants in the works.
Oh yeah, so I definitely, it's so funny because people are asking me in Gambia, in Togo, all over, and I'm like, I didn't even fully get this one started yet. I was selling for about 3 weeks before COVID happened, so I'm still like literally on the ground trying to build it up. But I do intend on having more food trucks. I eventually want to help people get their food truck started. And then I do want to have a few restaurants. I would love to be a franchise throughout Africa. So that's the biggest goal that I have.
Ooh, wow. That's
Yeah,
fantastic. We need more of that
yeah.
because right now
Franchises.
because right now we're seeing like KFC is going all over Africa,
Right.
Pizza Hut is going all over Africa, Burger King is going all over Africa. We need more people who are on the continent to start creating franchise
And
businesses.
these big businesses. That's what I try to show people. This place, Ghana, Africa. Well, I can only speak for Ghana, but in Ghana, I saw it as it had so much potential, and I see what we don't have in Ghana and what we have here. And I'm telling my people, like, look, you can go there, you can start from now, and in 5 years, it can potentially be something way bigger. So come to Ghana, y'all.
Someone has a question for you, Deja. Do you think it would have been better if your truck was outfitted before you arrived?
So I wanted it to be ready for the year of return. We know December in Ghana is always big, and that was my main goal. So they told me 4 weeks I put my money down October. I made my down payment October, I want to say 22nd. So it was supposed to be finished by at least November. However, that wasn't the case. It was finished, I want to say, after New Year's. So that literally put me back from all the plan that I had. However, once again, I don't let that stop me. I figured, okay, if it didn't happen this time, then it wasn't meant to be. And eventually, I'm still gonna go. I'm still gonna do it. I have this truck now. I have to continue to tell my story and share the connection between Ghana and Jamaica. So, um, we're gonna hope for this December. But once again, with COVID, we everything's up in the air. But I'm just still waiting to return so that I can continue to do and build on my brand and telling the story between Ghana and Jamaica.
Now, somebody's asking, how can we invest in your business? Loving this.
Even that is so much that I don't know that I'm working on and learning along the way. Even with food, I'm not even in the food industry. So
you are in the
you
food
can send me.
industry. You're in it now.
Well, I wasn't. Sorry, I
But
wasn't
you
in the
are
food
now.
industry. Now I am. Yes, but it just amazes me that like I said, I didn't have any culinary history, but that doesn't stop you from still continuing with your vision. Or if you get a vision, you can still continue with that. But if you are interested, you can definitely send me an email at dejavus@gmail.com.
Deja Vu,
And we can
Dijhavus.
at gmail.com. Yes, we can discuss some things.
I'm putting it on the screen. I hope I didn't type it
Yes, that's
wrong.
right.
So you can email her here if you want to reach out to her, if you want to invest, put some money in her business.
Yes.
So let me go back to the comments, see if there's anything else here. Oh, someone else says they want to invest too. Send her an email. Send her an email. Someone's asking if you're hosting Pine and Ginger this year. Okay, Alexi, you missed it earlier. She mentioned that they do plan on doing it this year, but everything is subject to COVID-19 and how, restrictions, if they're being lifted in time to be able to actually go full force with it. We have someone here asking, can one rent your food truck for private events?
Yes, we do. We do events, catering. We do it all.
Perfect. Someone's probably looks like someone may want to do the truck business. Somebody says, are there a lot of places that outfit food trucks in Accra?
No. So once again, the place that I went, I was the first mobile kitchen that they made. So I said that earlier that I wanted to work. I wanted that to be another business of mine where I can build food trucks for people, because now everyone's asking me, how can we get a food truck? Where did you get your food truck? And being that I went through such an experience with that company, I said, I should provide this service here, and then I can export to other countries in Africa, not just in Ghana. So once
Awesome.
again, email me about that, because that's something in the works that I have going on.
Looks like we lost Kevoy. We know his internet has been in and out throughout this stream, so I don't know if he'll be back, because we are going to be wrapping up soon. I'll put your email back on the screen, Deja, for people who've been asking about investing. Someone also asked about getting in touch with Lakeisha. Here's her email to reach out to her as well if you need to contact her for anything with respect to her business. Let me go back here. Somebody had something. It's good to see these comments. Very ambitious, amazing women, Lakeisha, Ivy, Deja, and Zakisha. Africa needs more of you from the diaspora. Keep rising. For those of you who were not here at the beginning of the stream, we had Zakisha here, who's an hip hop artist, MC from Toronto, Canada. She had a song that she did called "Went to Ghana." I'll play a quick clip of that before we close out for those who missed it. Let's see. Latasha says, if you talked about it, I missed it. My sister keeps calling me. That's okay. Bedina Davis, I'm in New York, and that steamed fish, corn, and okra is desired here now. Ghana has great fish for your menu. The food truck is a great option to an old ground restaurant. Your people are loving what you're doing.
Thank
It's really,
you.
really fantastic. For each of you, before you moved to Ghana, did you select a business to start based on a need or based on a passion? So this question is for both of you.
So I started my business based off of, like, I said that I got a vision, right? And like Lakeisha said, she suggests everyone to visit the country first, because when you are there, I feel like it speaks to you personally what you can do. And I think that's the difference between coming to Ghana and doing something with passion and then doing something with money, just for money rather. So I got the vision to do Jamaican food because, once again, I saw what Ghana was like and it reminded me so much of Jamaica. And the vision that I got was so profound that I was at work, I got goosebumps, and like I started to cry, and it was crazy. I had a vision that I was in an actual restaurant, and it was like the grand opening of my restaurant. And it was so many people around me, but I just had like this sense of solitude, and I just sat down and I was crying, and I was like, I can't believe that I actually made this happen. So it was a brief vision of what could be. I followed my intuition, and I followed my gut, and I followed God's lead. So that's what led me to do to follow through with the vision.
Okay, and Lakeisha.
Yeah. So for me, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Before you moved to Ghana, did you select a business
No.
or to start based on a need or on your passion?
Right. So before I moved to Ghana, so remember, I was ignited with this passion or desire when I came here. I didn't know about the gap. I didn't know, the revelation didn't come to me until I was here in Ghana. And even still, I've been here for 5 years. I'm still getting revelation. My family and I were looking at doing more business here as well. So to answer your question, I got my business. My business came to me in a vision as well. It was in a dream. I was woken up from my sleep regarding Ford Communications. But that core idea of sharing a wholesome story, it started when I was in college. I was like 19. And that stayed with me. I didn't really know how exactly I was going to, do it. I was essentially supposed to be a diplomat after my research. I was supposed to go back to the States, join the foreign service, and go into the public diplomacy set, where I would use culture, arts, media to connect countries or enhance geopolitical relations. And then I just said, you know what? I feel free. Mike Brown happened actually, and that pushed me or encouraged me to say, you know what? I want to do this work of connecting the West with Africa. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I was at the end of my research, and I think I had 3 more months left, and I went home, and I just used that time to just kind of figure myself out. And I didn't really have a plan, but I had 3 more months left on my lease, and I came back. And when I came back, I was literally sleeping, and I woke up at like 2-something in the morning, and it was like precise perceptions, Ford Communication. I had to write it down. Ford Communications, connecting the West to Africa, using media, using stories, using public relations, using brand management, like bringing brands onto the continent. So that came to me. And then even, of course, being Jamaican, as you know, we're culturally rich. Ghanaians are culturally rich as well, but there are a lot of other projects that have come to me, and my family is now about to be involved in it. These things we can't talk about yet because they have not all the way come through. But yes, I had to be here. You have to be here. You have to come. It's good to, yes, have an idea about what you would want to do, but be mindful that could be packed with an assumption that the place doesn't have it, or that the people want it, or that it is a necessity here, is packed with an assumption. So the best way to combat the assumptions is to literally come here and see the place, feel it, see what pisses you off, see what you get frustrated about. You know, a lot of times people come and they can't last because it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. For me, it was just like, it's nothing but space and opportunity. That's how I saw it. You know, all of the issues that came up for me, I just see them as business opportunities. And to be very clear, you know, going back to, I guess, a lot of our ideological roots, if we do not build it, if we do not come and build this place, people understand, our predecessors understand that. They've always understood that Africa is the future. They will come and build it. They will come and build the infrastructure. They will come and build the business. And then people will come, people like us will come and be like, oh, can I work for your company? When the truth is, you probably could have had that and more. So I encourage the whole generation, or just anybody really, if you're Black especially, to definitely make the visit. It's not for everybody. I don't think it's a solution to racism in America. You should not seek asylum in Ghana, you know, because you can come here and be met with other isms, right? Because you'll be set up with a certain expectation. Come with a curious mind, come with an open heart on, you know, really seeing the place. So yes, it's okay to have an idea, but remember that that can be an assumption that it could be a viable business. It's best to come here. And maybe if you are looking at something, look at, go on social media to see who's already doing it. Reach out to them, talk to them about their experience if they're open to it. And that will let you know a little bit more. That's called intelligence. Get your insights, get your intelligence. It's not just about, oh, I've Googled and I can't find. You won't find it.
Yeah.
Because it's an emerging market, right? Our systems aren't as crystallized as they are in the States and the UK. And that's not a bad thing, because again, when there's a problem, there's an opportunity. So I would encourage people to take that step.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Someone in here asks the question, how long does it take to get citizenship in Ghana? How much does it cost to get a survey indenture and allocation papers when you buy land? What are the hidden costs of the purchase? Let me put that on the screen for those who are watching. I was just reading it out and didn't put it out. There it is. So Kathy, when it comes to citizenship in Ghana, the first thing I want to say is a lot of people assume that you have to be a citizen to be able to do business in Ghana if you are thinking of doing business. But you don't have to be a citizen to come and do business in Ghana. Also, to live in Ghana, you don't have to be a citizen to live in Ghana. And I'm only addressing that, not saying that maybe that's what you think, but I'm addressing it because there could be someone watching who does think that, because I have had people who've sent those types of messages. And when it comes to the path to citizenship, I've seen people who've gotten it very quickly, and then some people it's taken years. Mm-hmm. So it's on a case by, I would suggest it's on a case by case basis, you know, because someone could meet someone and get married and they might get their citizenship quickly. Someone may be going back and forth and back and forth. So there was a gentleman that I had met about 2 years ago, and he was frustrated that he wasn't getting his citizenship. And it turned out that because he kept leaving the country, he kept leaving to go back to the States, and he would be gone for a long period of time. Then he would come back and then he would leave. So there were so many gaps that it was like he was abandoning his application. So it took a long time for it to actually happen. So what I like to tell people is it's a case by case basis. So it's up to you to figure out how long the path will take for you. And I think the first step is to actually move. The first step, it's not something you could sit in, you know, in your home in the US or in the UK. It's not something you can sit in your house, go online, fill out an application, and then bam, you have citizenship. It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way in any country. You know, if I wanted to become a citizen of the US, I can't just type it up online and then bam, I get it. It's a process where I would have to move to the country. I would have to live in the country. I would have to get a residency. I would have to be working somewhere. So there's a process. But what I will tell you is that Ghanaian law, the immigration law, does have, and I don't remember what law the number is, where it's the right of abode. The right of abode basically has been in Ghanaian law since, I think, the year 2000 or 2001. And it basically says that people of African descent have the right to live in Ghana under right of abode. So if you decide to come to Ghana and you've come on a tourist visa and then you want to go to immigration or Ministry of Interior and investigate the right of abode, it's easier for you to do that when you're physically here than trying to do it when you're not physically here. But you'll have to go and do the investigations with that Ministry of Interior, Ghana Immigration, Ministry of Foreign Affairs are all involved in the whole process of each different steps of the path to citizenship. So yeah, I hope that answers your question and the question of other people, that it is on a case-by-case basis. As I said, I know people who've done it, gotten their citizenship quickly, and some it's taken a few years to get it. But most people I know have gotten it much faster than people I know who've tried to get American citizenship. I know someone who took 15 years for her to, a Canadian, it took her almost 15 years to get American citizenship. But then I also know people who it only took 5 years to get American citizenship. So it's all on a case-by-case basis. So you have to investigate. The first step is to come. That's step number one.
Yeah.
Is to come. Yeah. Visit first. See if you like it before you pack up and make the move. Yes, definitely. I'm gonna see if there's any other. Oh, someone in here I saw, I didn't put it on the screen, but someone mentioned something about health insurance and healthcare. Latasha asked about healthcare insurance. I can talk about it, but the two of you can also talk about it if you would like. If not, I can talk about it.
So at least for me, there are different ways you can go about it. There is international health insurance. You can Google, the different ones that exist. That's one thing. And I learned about that through my, if you come through an institution, you probably would be linked with an international health insurance. Now, other than that, there are local insurance carriers that you can connect with, car insurance, health insurance. It's all here. And of course, you would jog the ones that exist to see the pricing, to see what works for you. And of course, which hospitals are correspond with that insurance. That's important too. Everyone doesn't go to this hospital, but I know Nyaho is a very popular hospital and Nyaho Clinic. And that's one that connects with a lot of the schools and institutions. So if you're looking for health insurance, you can basically ask if Nyaho Clinic, or you can go to Nyaho and find out which insurance, they take there. What else? I think that's it. Yeah, so there's international and then there's local.
Definitely. And for those who don't have insurance, just so you're aware, there is a cost for going to the hospital, seeing the doctor. If you're coming from countries like Canada, I used to live in Canada, where we just have our healthcare system. I would take my card, go to the hospital, go to the doctor, and I don't pay because it's in our tax system. But here in Ghana, if you don't have insurance through a company, you are paying each time you go. You pay registration fee at the hospital, you pay at the doctor registration fee, you pay for if you have a blood work done, an x-ray done. Each item you are paying individually. And depending on the hospital you choose to go to, the prices vary. The Nyaho Clinic that she mentioned is one of the most expensive. For those who want to know, it can be very pricey for you if you're not making a certain amount of money to be able to pay to go. So we have, this healthcare is an important consideration. Please speak about the health system, privatized, easily accessible. So yeah, we're talking about that now. It is private. And then there's the public system with the government hospitals. Citizens register with these health cards that covers a small portion of the costs, but they still have to pay out of pocket for most of the services that they would receive. So we've been talking for more than an hour. It's been great conversation. And seeing if there's any other comments here. I know people want to reach out. They're saying to collaborate.
Yeah. Can I share something really quickly?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So this is one conversation. I think these platforms are important because we need to popularize this discussion about coming to the continent. So I get a little bit more into detail about moving to Ghana. I have a podcast called Yard Abroad. It's hosted by myself and my really good friend, Zinga Makita, who's also Jamaican American. She lives here and she has children. So basically it's about living and doing business in Ghana from the perspective of Jamaican American women. I don't have children. She has children. She has an entire family. So people who have families and are interested in, the details around that, you should definitely listen in. So we're on YouTube. It's Yard Abroad. You type in Yard Abroad Ghana, it'll come up. And then we're on Apple, Spotify, across the platforms. And then on Instagram, you can follow us. Instagram, Facebook, all the social media platforms at yard.abroad. At yard.abroad. So tune into the podcast, connect with us, ask your questions. We also have a consultation aspect of it where you can connect with us and we'll sit with you for about 30 minutes. And that's like an introduction. So connect with us if you want insight. Makita has been coming here since she was 15. She's in her 30s now with her family. I've been coming here since 2012. I've been living for 5 years straight. So it's coming with a lot of, it would come with a lot of insight, if you will, and experience, which is important for any consultation. So yes, connect.
So you're talking about the, the things that you do with sharing that through Yard Abroad. I wanted to quickly let Deja get a chance to talk about that. You do consultations as well, right?
So I recently just launched a website to help others. Once again, it's all about bringing your people along with you. So I feel like it was necessary, and that's something that I needed help with while I was in a position of trying to figure out how can I move to Ghana and where do I even begin. So being that I've been through the experience, I wanted to help others as well. So I launched a website called dejasviews.com. And there I have some of the Ghanaian products such as shea butter, cocoa butter. I linked with one of the guys who makes the straw bags. So I have that on my website as well. And along with that, I have services to help people make their transition and just basically make it easier for them so that they didn't have to go through the process of figuring everything out on my own like I did.
You said dejaviews.com?
Yeah, so that's DEIJHAS views, VIEWS.com. And then I also, on my YouTube channel, I just share like my journey from when I first went to Ghana, when I first moved to Ghana, which was it's Views, DEIJHASVIEWS, Views.
Views.
Yes.
Okay. Let me
and on my YouTube channel, I share like my entire journey of me building my truck from literally the ground up. So, that's Deja's Views on YouTube as well.
Oh, and I missed that. You said Deja's with an S?
Yeah, with an S, yes.
Okay. I apologize, viewers. I'm like typing this in as we're going along live. So let me just put that up there again. This is the correct website, dejasviews.com.
Yes.
All right. So ladies, I know we're not going to get Kevoy back. We lost him. And for those who were here when he was on, Kevoy is a Jamaican actor who has moved to Ghana. He was in the movie Joseph, which was about connecting Africa to the Caribbean. It was filmed in Ghana, Jamaica, and Barbados. He came to Ghana, fell in love with the country, and he's moved here now. And then we were speaking today with Deja Gordon, who is the founder of Deja Vu's Jerk Hut, a food truck serving Jamaican food in Ghana, and then Lakiesha Ford, who's the founder of Ford Communications, doing a lot of PR and marketing in Ghana. And it's been a wonderful conversation talking to them about how they have moved to Ghana, the experiences they've had as business owners. It's been a really good chat. I know we've been talking for a long time, and it's, you know, Sunday morning for Deja, Sunday afternoon for myself and Lakeisha here in Ghana. Deja lives in Ghana, but she's stuck in New York during this pandemic as borders are closed. And she'll be back real soon once everything is lifted. Looking forward to it, because I didn't even get a chance to try the food on your truck. I was like ready, and then all of a sudden, boom, boom, everything happened. Yeah. I know everybody is really enjoying the conversation we've had today. Thank you, ladies, so much for doing this live. You are most welcome. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
And Kathy, it's not a one-time fee. Effective tomorrow must be. I'm not sure which conversation this is. I must have missed the original chat here. So they're chatting with each other. I think it may be about the healthcare question we were talking about earlier. So anything you ladies want to add before we wrap up?
I would say, well, first of all, I just saw the follows come in. So thank you guys for following me. The podcast is like brand new, so we're building it. So definitely connect. And you can also connect with me on my business page. I support international brands that want to enter the market. I help them connect with their audience through PR and digital marketing. So you can connect with me at www.ford-communications.net, and on Instagram and across social media. On Instagram, I'm at Ford Communications with an S on Instagram, and then Twitter is FordComGH. But we're most active on Instagram, so definitely connect if you're thinking about bringing a business or initiative to the continent. We're talking about visiting. Maybe you have visited and you do want to do more and amplify your efforts. Definitely connect. We also support local businesses with their PR marketing and digital marketing and getting international exposure. So yes, I'm all about group economics. So if you are about Africa and you're Africa focused and you want to do business, definitely connect with me.
Awesome. And Deja, anything you want to say before we close out?
I just want to say to those who are interested in moving to Ghana, come with an open mind. And I personally, I don't like when people come to Ghana and try to, you know, they say things like, oh, they don't have this and this is, it's like, you're not in America. Just be open, be accepting to what the country does have to offer. And like Lakeisha said earlier, whatever we don't have, then bring it. Solve the problem if it's a problem for you. So that's all.
Awesome. Thank you. Let me put up a picture of Kevoy since he's not here. We lost him. So Kevoy Burton, he is an actor, and he starred in the film Joseph. He fell in love with Ghana when he came to Ghana last year, during the year of return when they were filming. And then he went back to Jamaica and then came back to Ghana for the world premiere of the movie. And when he came, he fell in love with the country and said he has to move. You can reach out to him on his Instagram. That is his Instagram handle, Kevoy B, for those of you who weren't here earlier and missed him. Kevoy B is how you can reach him. He's in Ghana now, and he is working on business opportunities. And he sees the connection between Jamaica and Ghana, the way that our cultures have similarities. And I think he's going to be here to stay. It's fantastic seeing someone like him coming and experiencing Ghana, showing that the possibility is there, and knowing that it is a long road ahead. But once you get on that road, you will find yourself on a road to success. So thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate you taking time out on your Sunday. For those of you watching, thank you for tuning in. I will do another episode of Moving to Ghana and have a few other people who've also had experiences of moving to Ghana. This is just the beginning of a series of talking to people who've made the move, because everybody has different experiences. People are in different industries, different fields. I'm looking forward to having some people who are in, things like real estate and that types of stuff to talk about some of those other things. So thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you for
all
having me. This was
You're
great.
welcome. You can all keep your
I find it
comments.
so funny that it wasn't intentional with everyone having roots in Jamaica or being from Jamaica. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was not intentional, and that's what happened.
Look, I love it because people ask me all the time, are there Jamaicans in Ghana? And generally I would say, yeah, but they're a little older. And
Yeah.
and that, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
there's this fresh energy, young. Okay. I love that there's this fresh energy in, just the younger generations of Jamaicans coming in. We have we have fire, we have fire. So
yes. Jamaica is a vibe.
And, just really, yeah. So I love it.
Thank you so much, ladies. And all of you, you've gotten their information, their emails, their websites. Reach out to them if you want to connect and collaborate. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Take care.
Bye.